is up, YouTube? That's here, bringing you guys an extra special video. I think this is the actual first real video I have covering Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee content. Today, we are going to be talking about the full TM list in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee for the Nintendo Switch. And I just wanted to make this quick little intro section to say this is going to include spoiler content. Obviously, the game comes out in about a week, and this is the full TM list. So if you guys don't want to know any of this stuff, I know personally this is something I might want to know and I might not want to know. Like sometimes finding mystery items, finding random TMs, seeing what could be a TM somewhere and not knowing any idea of what it could be something that takes a lot of fun out of the game. So this is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. I'm not going to say where every TM is. I'm just going to say what they are, why I think some of them are good for the game, why some of them are bad, and my whole thoughts on the idea, because there are quite a lot of them in this game. So you guys have been warned. After this, we're hopping right into the content. So, that's about it. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to be hopping right into the list. Before I want to get it, I have one last thing to say. This list was data mined by a guy named Kurt. I think his name is Kaphotics. Let me just look this up. We got Kaphotics, Kaphotics. I'll be leaving a link to his Twitter, a link to his YouTube. I think he's doing a ton of, information leaks from the game. So again, if leaks are the name of your game, you can go ahead and check this out. Ton of quality content, pretty reputable source. A bunch of my mutuals follow him. From what I've seen, everything is pretty cool. He's shown a lot about shiny hunting, and he's shown a lot about how CP, the combat points Pokemon have, translate into their stats, and how friendship and everything goes into it. So remember, this is his list. He's the one that got us this info. So if you guys want to thank him, you can definitely go check him out on his platforms. So we're gonna get rid of this and we're gonna hop right into the list, guys. We're gonna hop right into the list. So there are 60 freaking TMs in this game. Oh my gosh, look at this list. We're gonna go through each one of them and I'm gonna talk about it. But look how many freaking TMs there are in this game. 60 TMs, Craigasm. That's so many. We're at, one of the reasons there is so many TMs in this game is actually, I don't think that there is a move tutor. And my theory is proven, I think, that there's no move tutor, or that the move tutor is some crazy endgame thing, is just because, a lot of the moves that are on here are actually move tutor moves. So, the first one, obviously, a TM we used to have back then. I don't think it's a TM anymore. I don't think Headbutt is a TM anymore. TM 1's gonna be Headbutt. And I remember it being a TM back in Silver version, right? You could use it to headbutt trees and stuff like that, and Pokemon would fall out. But for this guy to know, Headbutt's actually really good. It has a 30% chance to flinch. It's great for just playing the game with, and it works really, really good on Pokemon like Dunsparce, you have Serene Grace, works on Jirachi, stuff like that. So remember, Serene Grace doubles your special effect chance of happening. Headbutt has a 30% chance of flinch, goes up to 60, it's pretty good. So anytime Headbutt is actually TM, I'm incredibly happy to see it, because it means there's just so many more options for cheesy strats. So hopefully we can see some Headbutt strats. Other one being Taunt, TM02. Pretty standard. Taunt's been a TM for about as long as it's been a move in the game. So really not too surprised to see it back in here. The third TM, Helping Hand. Now this is going into my strategy of there being no move tutor, my theory of there being no move tutor, because Helping Hand being on here means that that's never been a TM before, and a lot of Pokemon can get Helping Hand. It's one of the best moves in doubles. Audience probably a singles players thinking Helping Hand sucks, but in doubles it's actually a really good move, and being able to get it as a TM is really good. I know I personally hate grinding BP just to reteach Pokemon moves all the time, pump them up all the time, and having all these as TMs being reusable is just super, super good. TM04 is gonna be Teleport. I don't know if that's ever been a TM, but it works kind of like Dig outside of battle. Teleport's like Pokemon Center, out of cake and stuff like that. Makes a lot of sense, probably perk for this type of game. Rest been a TM forever, Light Screen's been a TM forever, Protect, thank goodness Protect is a TM, right? Substitute, Reflect, Dig, Will-O-Wisp, Facade, these are all TMs that have been on the lists before. Let's see, we're going up, going on up, Puzz 3D, move it up. TM13, Brick Break, and then we get to TM14, Fly! How the mighty have fallen out of the sky, literally, Fly, a TM! Wow, long since the days of HM02, back when that move actually meant something, but Fly being a TM, really surprised to see. It's always been a pretty decent move. I think it's a 90 base, 2-turn move, so just for playing the game itself, it's actually not terrible. not terrible at all. Seismos being a TM is actually really cool. I don't think we've had that as a TM since Gen 1. That was the last gen I remember Seismos being a TM in. That was like the only way to evolve Abras, in my opinion, just teach a Seismic Toss or Mega Punch and just let it go to town. But yeah, so like Seismos being a TM, I don't think it was a TM in Gen 2, but it opens up a lot of cheesy strats. There's a lot of Pokemon who have a much higher level of playability when they have moves that deal damage based off their level. Examples are, you know, Mega Kangaskhan. I don't think Megas are going to be that big in this gen, but if they still have their abilities, I don't really know if there's that much to do with abilities in this gen, but, you know, obviously Mega Kangaskhan's ability in previous games was Parental Bond, let you hit twice. Besides because that's busted AF. Like, holy moly. Like, I'm gonna hit you with both my dudes. You can put all your points in bulk. It's so good. So Seismic Toss is a move that can kind of make magic happen. You know, other good examples of Seismic Toss mechanics are like, you know, Nightshade with like Dusclops and stuff. Go full bulk and have all your damage come out from these, you know, damage moves that deal the residual amount based on your level. Also, how is Seismic Toss gonna work in this game? Are there still levels in this game, really? Or is it based off your CP? Like, how are they going to actually calculate that? I'm very curious. If you have any ideas, you know, please let me know in the comments below. I'm super interested. Thunderwave's been a TM before. Dragon Tail, really excited to always see U-Turn as a TM. U-Turn Volt Switch staples in, you know, pretty much every metagame they're ever in. Great moves. Great moves. Iron Tail, really cool to see that be a TM. It was a move tutor move, I believe, in the past like couple games. Iron Tail is always a really cool option. People don't think of Iron Tail, but there's a lot of Pokemon that don't really learn Iron Head, or like Iron Head is just not enough damage to get the big KOs that you need on those like fairy types, those ice types, those rock types. Sometimes Iron Tail having that 20 base power actually really does matter. Like, I remember running an Iron Tail Salamence Moxie set back in like 2015, and oh my gosh, I just tore through so many things because people were just not ready for the damage. Sure, you missed an Iron Tail every once in a while, but like, oh, it's totally worth it. It's so worth it. It's so swag. Iron Tail is an amazing move. People sleep on the move way too often. Dark Pulse being a TM, it's been a TM pretty for the past few formats. You know, always great to see. Let's see, Foul Play being a TM. Foul Play being a TM. How unorthodox. Now, I was just talking with one of my viewers in one of my most recent videos about Alolan Ninetales getting Foul Play from the Move Tutor, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Foul Play's a Move Tutor move, and it's never been a Move Tutor move. It's never really been good until Gen 7. I think, is it a Gen 7 move? It might be Gen 6 move. I just know that I really started seeing a lot of it once VGC 2017 started. So having it as a TM now, it's really gonna open up the move pool because there's so many Pokemon. Like, what anyone just like do a search. Look up the list of Pokemon that learn the move Foul Play, and you'll be surprised. And for those who don't know what Foul Play does, it's a type of move that deals damage to the opponent based off like their attack stat. So it's pretty much just like they're hitting themselves in the face with like a 90 base power attack. It's really awkward how you calc it, but Foul Play deals an unbelievable amount of damage and doesn't take into effect like your stats whatsoever. It's pretty much just them hitting themselves. So like against Pokemon like Metagross, it's amazing. Against Pokemon like Solgaleo, it's amazing. Like in this type of format that we're running right now in VGC 2019. But I don't know how good Foul Play might be in like a Gen 1 specific like locked Pokedex. Maybe that's why it's TM, but you know, Foul Play, like I said, it's been a move tutor move in this gen, in Gen 7. So really cool to see it come into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee as a TM. Rock Slide, always a staple, of course. Flinchtown it is. Thunderpunch being a TM. These haven't been TMs since Gen 2, if I believe. I don't think they were TMs in Gen 3. I just don't think they were TMs. I don't remember them being TMs in Gen 3. They might have been TMs in Gen 3. I don't think so, though. Like, wait. Gen 2 was the last one I remember the Elemental Punches being TMs. Other than that, they've been Move Tutor moves. So really cool to see them back on the TM train, really building a case for my theory that there are no Move Tutors, or there's no Move Tutors for like these type of moves. There's probably still Move Tutors for like Draco Meteor. I mean, we haven't got down the rest of the list yet, but like, you know, the Blast Bird, those are still going to be Move Tutor moves, I think. But looks like it's building a case. It's building a case. Exazor, been a TM for years. Waterfall, another HM, relegated to the TM slots, but it's been like that for like a hot minute. Like Waterfall was a TM In the last gen, like Waterfall, amazing. Like you can't run Gyarados without Waterfall. So Gyarados in Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, gonna get a huge boost from Waterfall. We take those. Poison Jab, always good to see Toxic. Toxic is pretty good in every format I've played correctly. Tri-Attack has not been a TM since Gen 1. And I've said it like 5 times before, it's just not clicking. All these things haven't been TM, like Seismic Toss hasn't been a TM since Gen 1. Tri-Attack hasn't been a TM since Gen 1. It's freaking Gen 1. It's Kanto. Of course these are going to be TMs. Why did that just click right now? Oh my gosh, I feel like an idiot. Yeah, there better be a Mega Punch TM or else I'm going to riot. Pretty sure that was TM 20 back in the day. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Was TM 20 Mega Punch in Gen 1? I think it was. But yeah, Tri-Attack being a TM. I remember running that back in Red, Blue, and Yellow. Always put in Michael Fable. It was so good. So good. Tri-Attack is an amazing move, and I'm really happy to see it because, like, the reason why I think it's really good to see Tri-Attack as a TM move is because there's going to be, like, a very limited dex, right? And because there's, like, a limited dex, there's not that many special attackers. So without Tri-Attack being, like, a TM, there'd be a really stale, limited move pool, right? And so the fact that you can have Tri-Attack, and so many things are now going to get access to Tri-Attack, just like they did in Gen 1. Because there's a lot of Pokemon that learned moves in Gen 1 that can't learn those moves in other gens, because that's just how Gen 1s and Gen 2s were. And so now, you're going to see a bunch of stuff that you never even could imagine getting Tri-Attack, and it's such an RNG-dependent move, and it's like 80 base power, so I'm sold. Tri-Attack's amazing. Skull being TM, I don't like that. Scald's busted, guys. 30% chance burn every time. Oh my gosh, I hate it. Scald being a TM, I mean, we take those, but it's not my favorite thing. Bulk Up being a TM, really cool to see. I like Bulk Up. Bulk Up is a move that I've always wanted to, like, really build a team around Bulk Up users. Maybe this will be the gen for that. Maybe this will be the game for me to finally bust out my Bulk Up strats. As we're going to go on to the second side here. Here we go. We might as well just go up, right? We might as well just go up. So we have TM60 gonna be Mega Horn. Oh man, I should have went from the top to the bottom because, like, we are ending it on top. Mega Horn has never been a TM. I don't even know if it's been a move tutor move. Like, Mega Horn, the strongest bug type attack. Like, kind of, you know, Mega Horn is just the epitome of what it means to be cool. Ooh, swag. Maybe just because one of my favorite Pokemon's Heracross, but I know only cool Pokemon learn Mega Horn. And I have like a calc, like a list, I guess. The way it works is, unless a move is a fire move, an ice move, a ground move in very specific formats, or what was the last one? A fighting move in very specific formats. So you got fire, ice, and then ground or fighting in very specific formats. Unless those moves are base 90 or higher, you do not run them on Pokemon unless you stab them. All too often when people say, fix my team, they have like Psybeam on something, or they have like Strength, or they have like some random move, and I'm like, alright, you do not stab this move at all. Stab, the same type of attack bonus. You do not stab this move, so you're not getting any additional boosts off it. And the way it works is, like, let's talk about having, let's just talk for a moment about putting Shadow Ball onto Jolteon. Let's just talk about that, right? That's a decent one. You see that all the time. Shadow Ball is an 80 base power move. So if it was super effective, if it was hitting for its maximum potential, the best it could possibly do, it'd be a 160 base power move. And Thunder, on the other hand, is a base 110, right? And so you stab that. So you take half of what your base power is, because it's a 1.5 boost, so it's going to be it's going to be 55. Put that on the 110, gives you 165, which is 5 base power stronger than Shadow Ball running at its highest potential now. Obviously, Thunder can miss. Hey, let's use Thunderbolt. It's a 90 base move. So you're going to take half a 90. It's going to be 45. You're going to put that on the Thunderbolt, and I think you get 135? Yeah, 135, and you're like, ha, Shadow Ball's stronger. And I'm like, ha, you wasted a move slot on Shadow Ball. I can put so many other tech moves on this Pokemon, and Jolteon doesn't really get that many other moves. But you get the idea. It's a waste of a move slot. Are you going to really dedicate a move slot to deal like 10 to 15 more base power in the perfect situation when you don't have to? I know I'm going completely on a super tangent just to describe a situation in which Shadow Ball isn't that good. But Mega Horn doesn't have that problem because Mega Horn is a 120 base move last time I checked. And 120 base moves even if those, so if those are super effective, that's going to go up to 240. And that's the threshold. The threshold is 90. You want to be higher than, you know, I think 160. You got to be higher than 160. I think over 170 is okay in my book after you're super effective, the best you can do. And since Mega Horn super effective would be 240, that's busted. Mega Horn is amazing. I love this move. Of course it can miss, but all the good moves can. All the good moves can. You just gotta play risky. Dream Eater being a TM. Man, I took a long time to talk about Mega Horn. But yeah, Dream Eater being a TM. I wonder if it's gonna be at the same place that you got it in the last game. But always cool to see Dream Eater being a TM. There's so many Pokemon in Gen 1 that get like you know, Hypnosis and stuff like that. Like Gengar's always gonna be big. Really cool to see Dream Eater. Hopefully someone can make it work. I've always had like a dream. I've always had a dream to like someone goes for like a rest, and it's gonna work in like these singles formats that are a lot slower and stuff like that. They pop a rest and then they start Dream Eatering them, because like a lot of Pokemon can usually just pop rest and then they're bulky enough to like chill and sit and wait to wake it up, and then you start Dream Eatering them while they're asleep. Oh, it's like absolutely amazing. And remember guys, Dream Eater is a psychic type attack, so it's not like a ghost attack like most people believe, because most people think of Dream Eater, they think of Gengar and ghost types, but you know, it's a psychic attack. It deals psychic damage. So remember, it might actually save your day someday. I don't know. Drill Run being a TM. That has been a move to remove in the past gen. I think it is like a 95 accuracy, 80 base move. Drill Run's good. The reason why I like Drill Run a lot is for doubles, personally. You know, don't have to use Earthquake. I don't really think there's going to be that many situations in which you would just use Earthquake in this game, but it also has a high crit ratio. Pretty cool move as well. A lot of Pokemon get Drill Run that, you know, normally wouldn't get stuff. There's not going to be a Pheromosa in this game, but Pheromosa is a good example of Pokemon that gets Drill Run that doesn't get Earthquake, so having access to a ground move is pretty good. So hopefully Drill Run is going to open up a lot of opportunities for a lot more Pokemon to get ground type attacks, because I think fire Pokemon in Gen 1 are like actually really typed correctly. They're weak to like they're weak to water and I guess rock, but a lot of fire Pokemon can just learn Earthquake, and so they just Earthquake all the rock types down, and then like the rock types couldn't do anything. So maybe Drill Run will be able to check those a little bit more. Who knows? Payday being a TM, I think it was a TM in Gen 1. It was last time it was a TM, I think. I don't know that much about Payday. I know it gives you a little bit extra money in the bank, but you know, I think that's all I really know. Maybe it'll get boosted by Technician or something like that. I really know its base power. It has to be under 60 though, so that might be actually pretty cool. The exclusive move of Meowth and Persian. Up next is going to be the golden oldie, Stealth Rock. It's time. Singles hazards in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Oh my goodness. Stealth Rock is busted, guys. It is busted. There's so many Pokemon. This move hasn't been a TM since Gen 4. If I believe that was last time it was a TM, was a Gen 4. It's been a move to remove ever since. And Stealth Rock's busted. Stealth Rock is so good. I'm actually happy that it's a TM again, just because, like, getting the... What is it? Getting the... I thought my camera went out for a sec, sorry. Getting the points to, like, put it on your Pokemon through the move tutors was a pain in the butt. And then, like, doing breeding chains, or, like, I think there was, like, a small time at the start of Gen 6... Not like the start, but I wanted to use Pokemon in singles that had, I wanted to use, like, what was it? I think it was Skarmory or something like that. And Skarmory, or like Metagross or some shit. I don't remember what it was. But the only way those Pokemon can even get Stealth Rocks was from Gen 4. So I had to go into, like, my Pearl version, catch those Pokemon, breed them to where they're, like, not terrible, which was a lot harder in those games. Teach them Stealth Rock, then trade them over to my Gen... Like, I had to, like, import them to Gen 5, do all the shenanigans to get them in Gen 5, and then import them into Gen 6. They're just a pain in the butt. So, like, I'm happy with Stealth Rock just being in the game. It's just a lot more convenient. All right, we're going to be seeing Ice Beam. Ice Beam's TM 55 in this game. I think it was TM 13 in the original. Am I incorrect? It could have been TM 10. TM 12 was Water Gun. We all know TM 12 was Water Gun. But Ice Beam, of course, it better be in the game. Ice Beam is an amazing TM. There's so many things, and it hits that 90 base threshold. And I'm probably wondering, like, I don't know. I haven't seen, like, any spoilers for Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. Really? I've seen, like, a couple trailers, but I haven't seen, like, that much, right? So I'm talking about, like, base powers and all these mechanics, and you guys are probably going to be tearing me up in the comments saying, like, there's no base powers in this game. There's nothing like that. Like, why does this matter? And, like, I I apologize if that's the case. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to do my best to help you guys learn the TM list to the best of my potential. Maybe give you guys some tips while we're here. So Ice Beam, amazing TM, teach you all your stuff. Flash Cannon, another really good one. Flash Cannon actually has never really seen the level of play I thought it always deserved. It just sucks that a lot of Pokemon that get Flash Cannon are already so busted, overpowered that they just don't need Flash Cannon. Good example in this format being Xerneas. Like, did you even know that Xerneas got Flash Cannon? Have you ever actually thought about putting Flash Cannon on Xerneas when in reality, like, not very effective Moonblast into like something just does more? Like, a neutral Moonblast from like a Xerneas into another fairy does more than a super effective Flash Cannon, so like, it just sucks. Like, another example of Pokemon, let's talk about stuff that stabs Flash Cannon, like Magnezone. Like, you could just not use Flash Cannon and you're fine. Like Dialga, you could just not use Flash Cannon and you're fine. But, you know, hopefully someone can make it work. Flash Cannon's always been one of my favorite moves. And hopefully, you know, now that it's a TM in like a different complete gen, maybe we'll just start to see more play. Who knows? Mega Drain being Team 53. This is probably going to be a team exclusively for like in-game stuff. Giga Drain is way better. I think Giga Drain is like an 80 base power. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a 70. But I know Mega Drain's a 40. And Mega Drain restores like half, but 40 is just too low to even be thought about using competitively. So it'll be good for training in the game. Maybe you get it relatively early on. That'd be really nice to see. Give your starter, if you start out with a grass starter Bulbasaur, maybe a little bit more boost. So really cool. Really cool. Talking about boosts to the grass starter Bulbasaur, Sludge Bomb being a TM, always been a staple. Hits that 90 base, just like I'm talking about. They need to hit that to succeed. I like seeing Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb's really good. Only been getting better as they add fairy types in the game, just like Flash Cannon, to be honest. But Sludge Bomb has a 10 more base power and has a 30% chance to poison, so it kind of pushes it over the edge. Going back to Flash Cannon, I'm probably thinking the best Flash Cannon user ever might be Aegislash. I can't think of another Pokemon that I'm like, yes, Flash Cannon. But Aegislash works it. Anyways, Sludge Bomb's good. Keep going up. We got Blizzard on deck. TM51 Blizzard. Always good. Even after they nerfed like Blizzard, Fire Blast, and Thunder to be 110 moves instead of 120 bases, Blizzard still holds up, especially if there's hail. Hopefully that mechanic's still in the game where if it's hailing, Blizzard's 100% accuracy. Would really like to see that. After that, we see Roost, and I'm so happy every time Roost is a TM. I think there was like one game from the introduction of Roost in Gen 4 where it wasn't a TM. I want to say it was Gen 6 or Gen 5, but it wasn't a TM, and I was like, oh, this is freaking hard. I think it was Gen 6. Was it Gen 6? I don't remember what game it was exactly. There was one game where it wasn't a TM, I think, and it was just really hard to actually play the game. There were so many times I just want to put Roost on things, and I couldn't. Like, it was an egg move or something, or I don't really remember, but I'm really happy to see it as a TM. So many Pokemon get Roost. Recovery moves are so valuable in every format, so I take it. Superpower, being TM49. Superpower has never before been a TM. Always been a move tutor move. And, yeah. You know, 120 base, lowers your attack and defense, but sometimes that's all you need to succeed, my guys. Superpower is always been really good. Works on like a lot of Pokemon, and one of the like strengths of this whole list of all these being TMs is a lot of these Pokemon, right? So a lot of Pokemon learn these as move tutor moves. Like Superpower is an example of a thing that's only on move tutor moves. Foul Play, another example of something that's only been a move tutor move. Helping Hand, what have you. All these things that have only been move tutor moves. That means you have to beat the game, right? And then go into the menu to say, I want to purchase Superpower, and then see what Pokemon on your team can do it. It's like a bunch of menus, and there's no real way to just, for the casual player, just look at everything that we're in Superpower. You gotta be a little more serious. You know, most people that are probably watching my videos are a little more serious, but what I think is really good is that there's gonna be so many more casuals that are just gonna, right when they get a TM, they're just gonna see what can learn it. And they're just going to put it on stuff. And that's going to create a whole new culture of people that are building their own metas and building their own stuff. And what Pokemon actually needs, in my opinion, is like a whole new group of players that are dedicated to like building new ideas. You know, just because I say something doesn't mean it's right. I'm sure you guys know I'm wrong all the time. But I do feel really passionate about this. And just having moves like Superpower on TM is going to show it to a lot more people that wouldn't know how to Pokemon learn it. Like, you know, I'm sure you guys know Scizor gets Superpower, but, you know, maybe everyone doesn't. Another good idea from this whole example is now that people are going to know what gets Superpower, maybe people are going to get smarter. Like, they're going to see, right when they get Superpower, they're going to see what can learn in their team, and they're going to remember, like, oh, man, like, I could have taught my Scizor Superpower, so when they're fighting other Scizors, they know that it can have it. So, who knows? It could create a whole new batch of, like, better, stronger players with new ideas Obviously, Superpower is like a better example, but I'm thinking more like Foul Play or the uncommon moves that we have seen that are normally like, you know, relegated to move tutor only format. So hopefully, you know, that has a super impact moving forward. Hyper Beam has always been a TM since Gen 1. It's busted AF. Especially in Gen 1. I wonder if it's going to have the mechanics from Gen 1. If you don't, I don't know if you guys remember how Hyper Beam worked in Gen 1. In Gen 1, when you Hyper Beamed something and you had a KO, you did not have to recharge. Like, I'm one of those OG players. I remember that. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, guys, go play some Gen 1. Boot up those, it's not Fire Red, but boot up those, like, DS virtual consoles and play some games. Like, oof, Hyper Beam's good. Surf, another move. HM, Mighty Have Fallen. HM03 is now TM47. And, yeah, that sucks. That sucks to suck. Surf, always a really good move in singles, though. I think it has 85 base power, and that's just strong enough to be, like, usable. I don't know why you would use Surf over Scald if you had the option. In most scenarios, Scald's way better because of the 30% chance burn, but hey, maybe we get Surf a lot earlier than we get Scald. I wouldn't be surprised if Scald, you don't get, like, until, like, after the Elite Four on, like, some extra island or something like that. And I could totally agree with that. Like, put Surf around the 3rd or 4th, 5th, 6th badge area. You know, helps you beat the game, helps you beat the gym leaders, helps you beat the Elite Four, and then you get Scald once you're actually tweaking to build teams for competitive. So hopefully it's like that. That'd be pretty cool. Fire Blast been in TM forever. Solar Beam been in play TM forever. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm about, guys. We see TM44. Play rough. It's time. We've been Play rough has never even been like a move tutor. Like, right? Am I wrong? No, wait. It might have been a move tutor, but like, there's like 5 Pokemon you know you want Play rough on, and they're not in the game, right? But who knows? DLC. You never know. Never know. Never know. DLC. It's on the Switch. Could be DLC. I want freaking Tapu Bulu with Play rough. I want Tapu Koko with Play rough. There's so many things I want to have Play rough, and I don't think it's ever been a move tutor. Otherwise, I think they would have got it. So hopefully, like, Play rough is a really cool move. Really, really good move. So hopefully we can see Play rough on a lot more stuff. This is a perfect example of a move, like, just like Superpower, that, you know, it's going to open it up to show it to a much wider audience. Maybe create some much more unique movesets for certain situations, and, you know, maybe steamroll us into something special. Shadow Ball TM43 been a TM forever. Self-Destruct hasn't been a TM since, I don't think, Gen 1. Does that mean they're cutting Explosion as a TM? That's really surprising to see, because Self-Destruct's a lot weaker. I don't know if you guys remember, up until Gen 4, Explosion used to actually, you could put Explosion on anything that would learn it. Like, put it on your Heatran, put it on your Gengar, and the hidden effect of Explosion would cut the defense in half of, like, everything that it hits. So even a Gengar, like a timid Gengar with 0 attack and nothing in it, could, like, one-shot any Pokemon with Explosion, just because Explosion was just busted AF. So obviously they're not going to keep that mechanic, and they're also nerfing Exploding just a little bit more by giving a Self-Destruct instead of Explosion, which has 50 less base power, if I do remember correctly. I think Explosion is a 300, or it might be Explosion's a 250 and Self-Destruct was 200. I think that's what it is, or it's 300 and 250. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Explosion was a 250 and Self-Destruct was 200. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't really care. Self-Destruct's hilarious, but I do not recommend unless you're memeing a little bit too hard. Only weird thing here is a lot of Pokemon can, at least from what I know, is a lot of Pokemon can, like, learn Explosion. Like, Landorus can learn Explosion, but I don't think Landorus can learn Self-Destruct. So that's awkward. Sometimes, you know, when you're playing the game, you want to teach, you get a TM, and you're like, oh, I'm going to teach this Pokemon this move, because I know the only way they get it on that Pokemon is they went at, like, 30 levels. You know, an example being, you know, like Azelf with Explosion. I don't think it earns that till like a million years down the line, and you might be able to save some time by just teaching it Explosion on the TM if you had it. But, you know, Self-Destruct isn't that option. So we'll see how that plays out. Kind of weird. Up next, we got the next couple. We have Earthquake and Psychic. Always been a TMs. Pretty sure Psychic was TM29. I do not like this moving around of my TMs. I'm not actually a fan of that, but Earthquake's always been solid. I wonder if you'll get it in the same place. Same thing with Psychic from the Psychic person in Saffron City? I think it was Saffron City. I used to teach my Butterfree back in the day. Outrage being a TM. That's pretty good, unique. You don't see Outrage that often. Outrage is an amazing move, especially in singles, but always been a move tuner move. Really cool to see Outrage. We haven't seen Dragon Claw yet. I can see Dragon Claw up there, but it'd be really weird to see if they cut Dragon Claw off the TM list for Outrage. I would actually not like that. I am a fan of Dragon Claw. I think it's a pretty standard, solid move that needs to be a TM. At least in my opinion. There's so many Pokemon that can just get Dragon Claw that, like, it works with. Like, an example is just, like, it's not in the game, obviously, but like Sceptile. Like, if you're playing the game just to play the game and have fun, wouldn't you want to have, like, Dragon Claw on your Charizard? Like, Outrage is a bit overkill. I don't always want Outrage, but I'd be fine with Dragon Claw. There's a lot of things you can just learn Dragon Claw. You'd be surprised. So Thunder being a TM, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt being TM, all not very surprising. They've been TMs in pretty much every single game. Ice Punch, another Elemental Punch being a TM. I don't think we've seen Fire Punch yet. We've seen Thunder Punch, but I don't think we've seen Fire Punch. Dragon Pulse being a TM. It's been TM before. I think it was TMs in Gen 4. And then I think it was a TM in Gen 5, but I know in Gen 6 and Gen 7 it was a hidden ability, which is a pain in the butt for Sceptile users because I had to, like, breed Sceptile. I had to breed Tricos. No, how did I don't even remember how I did it. I think I had to breed Tricos with Dragon Pulse because, like, hidden abilities weren't out in, like, X version, or they weren't out in what was it? They weren't out in, like, regular Sun and Moon. You had to be Ultra Sun and Moon. So, like, I remember getting a Dragon Pulse on my Sceptile was really not optimal at, like, one point in time. So I'm fine with Dragon Pulse being TM. I've always liked Dragon Pulse. So really cool. If I had to cut Dragon Claw for Dragon Pulse to be TM, I might have to make that sacrifice. After that, we see Calm Mind being TM. Makes sense. Bulk Up as a TM. Completely respect both those being options. Really cool. You know, I think it would start to get out of hand if they made, like, Quiver Dance a TM. Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy. We still have about 30 TMs to go, or 20 TMs, so hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's not the case. Oh man, just kidding. We only have 2 TMs. My bad. Yeah, so we just see Fire Punch and Dazzling Gleam. Alright, cool. So that is the full TM list, guys. That is the full TM list. Fire Punch, Dazzling Gleam. I like both those options. Fire Punch and Dazzling Gleam are both, like, really good choices. Let's make this list a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, going over it, this looks like a solid list, in my opinion. Let me make this smaller somehow. I dig the list, though. I actually dig the list. I think I went over every one of the moves, right? And I talked about why I think some are good and some are bad. And, well, actually, did I even say any of them are bad? No, I don't think I said any of them are bad. I think these are all good. I think these are all good options. Really nice blend of old and new. Obviously going all the way back, bringing in some of that Gen 1 swag with, like, Seismic Toss, with, you know, what is it? Tri-Attack, with... What are some other ones that were Gen 1 specific? Seismic Toss, Tri-Attack. I don't remember exactly what they were. Payday was one. If I had to take a guess and say my favorite move that's now one of these moves, I'd probably put it on Megahorn. I think Megahorn completely changes a lot of the way people play the game. I think it's the highest. I think TPCI is taking the biggest risk in making a busted Pokemon and putting Megahorn on this list for TMs. Just my opinion. Other than that, really like seeing Play Rough. I really like seeing Helping Hand, Foul Play, for sure. And probably Seismic Toss coming back, and Iron Tail going back on the TM list. So those are my lists for my favorite TMs. I want to know, guys, what TMs are you guys most psyched about using in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Are you even planning on getting the games? Did you even watch this video? Do you guys like this content? Please let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.